Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Horowitz in the Sefer HaMitzvos HaKatzar, and we're in Mitzvah's Loisa, say the negative commandment Nun Gimel 53. Shalolis Asek Bein Malva Laloive Beribis. Do not get involved in two parties between the lender and the borrower and cause them to do a loan with ribis. Don't get involved in such a thing. Don't be the middleman. Shenemar, like it says in the Torah, Loisi Simun Alav Neshech. Do not put interest upon him. You cannot be a guarantor or a witness between the borrower and the lender that is encouraging or on board for the lending of money with ribis, which is interest. The Torah forbids a Jew from loaning money to another Jew with interest. We're supposed to do chesed, kindness. We're not supposed to make money off the acts of kindness that we do. We should be generous and benevolent completely. And therefore the Torah says, no ribis, no interest. The malva, the lender, is also included in this. Besides the fact that he's not allowed to loan money to a Jew with ribis, with interest, he also cannot put the interest upon him. So too, if you have an intermediary between the two of them who's trying to facilitate the loan and do it in a way where there's going to be ribis, where there'll be interest, he's also transgressed the prohibition of putting a stumbling block in front of the blind. We keep this halacha everywhere, all the time, with men and with women. Next negative commandment, Nun Daled, Mitzvah's license says, Yisrael. You're not allowed to loan money to a Jew, beribis, with interest, bein kesef, bein davar meichel, shar davar. You can't do it with money as the interest, or food as the interest, or anything else. Shenemba, like it says in the Torah, as kasbucha leisiten loy beneshech, you're not allowed to give your money with interest, uva marbis leisiten achlecha, nor can you give food with interest. I'll give you a cup of sugar, and you're going to give me back a cup and a half of sugar. You can't do such things. Says the Gemara, says the Horowitz, neshech v'sarbis echadu. It says two words of ribis, of interest, neshech, interest, and v'tarbis, usury. Echadu, it's really the same thing. So why the pasuk divided up into two different words? Lav or v'shnei lav, so you should know that you transgress two prohibitions if you end up loaning money to another Jew with interest. And so too the malva, the lender, is also transgresses the prohibition of placing interest upon his fellow Jew. And also, you're not allowed to take interest from a person that you're making a loan to. Those are all prohibitions. This is something that is everywhere all the time, and bezachar and nekevas, and for men and for women. And finally, in Mitzvah's Loisa, say the negative commandment, Nun Hey, number 55, you cannot borrow money from a Jew with ribis, with interest. Do not give interest to your brother. That is referred to the leiva, the borrower. Meaning you, the borrower, you are not allowed to borrow money from a person who wants to give it to you with ribis, with interest. And because if you do, you are putting a stumbling block in the way of the blind. Your friend who wants to loan you the money must not realize you can't do it with interest, and if you accept the interest, you cause him to sin. And you're also getting a lot of a negative commandment. This is a halacha that applies everywhere all the time, in America, in Eretz Yisrael, wherever you might be, for men and for women. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Yom Tov.